Good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Redmond. I use he, him pronouns. I have the pleasure of being the president of the Board of Trustees of this fine congregation this year. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for those who are online and here in person. You're all very welcome here, longtime members, occasional visitors, brand new people to us. It's a new year. We're glad you're here. Whether you're joining us here or you're online, um, we're just want to go through a few announcements before we start the service. We are a people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. And love is the power that holds us together. We are all growing, all learning, all loved, and you are welcome just as you are. If this is your first time here, I bid you a special welcome. I'm glad you found your way here. For you, those of you in that situation or any others, if I can answer questions about the congregation, I'll be in the back of the sanctuary after the service. I might venture over towards the coffee first and get a coffee before I head back there. But you'll find me there. And you can look for other people who have a board name tag. I should have a board name tag on. I do know my name, Scott, but it will help you all remember it when I put my name tag on. There are hearing assistance devices in the back of the sanctuary, and someone near the back of the sanctuary can probably help you find those if you'd like to try to take advantage of that. I am doing double duty. I'm our chat chaplain for our online participants today. And that's always a way you can take in this service. We are online and in person. We'll be using the screen behind me here to show lyrics for the hymns and the words of our unison readings. And you can also follow along with a printed order of service. There's a lot going on here. We do have a weekly e-news, and thank you very much to Cindy for helping put that out for a while. And I heard Sean say today he is taking it over. So hooray for that. Hooray for Cindy. And you should see the joy on her face right now. Among the other announcements in there this week is Reverend Margot's away through the 12th. We have this is a great announcement. We have a new director of children's religious exploration. That's the really, really happy news. So her name is Kinsey Shackelford. She's not going to start here, though, for about another month. So we are going to keep holding this thing together through volunteer help. And then when Kinsey arrives, we're going to help her with volunteer help. We do have 2 people who've signed up to help with the children downstairs this morning. I noticed, I was just out there in the hallway, I noticed blanks for January 12th, January 19th, etc. So if you can help downstairs, please do so. It is a lot of fun. I can vouch for that. And there are roles where you just help. You just be present there. So take that on if you can. I mentioned coffee earlier. It's important to me. There's coffee. Join us for social hour after the service. And if you'd like to grab a red mug, which should be a way to invite others of us to come talk to you, please feel free to do so. If you'd rather not, feel free to do that too. But help yourself to what you find over there. As we begin the service, I want to respectfully acknowledge that we gather here together. I speak to you today from the land of the Coast Salish people, including the Puyallup tribal nation, land from which they were forcibly displaced. I affirm the continued sovereignty of the more than 500 federally recognized tribes, including the 29 here in Washington state, and support those still fighting for their recognition. I acknowledge the theft, violence, trauma, and racism that Indigenous people have experienced at the hands of colonizers from 1492 through to the present day. I honor the resiliency, of the indigenous people and stand with them as they continue to fight for land, water, visibility, sovereignty, and their very existence. And now, right before we start the worship service, I invite you to set your electronic devices to this special feature called worship mode. So put them in that mode and let's settle in to this great service that others have planned with Patty and that Patty will be delivering. Thank you all.
Good morning. My name's Patty McPhee, and I will be presenting this morning. I have some opening words for you. These are from James Baldwin. I imagine one of the reasons people cling to hate so stubbornly is because they sense once hate is gone, they will be forced to deal with pain. And then it's Stacy's turn.
Good morning. I'm Stacy Kopsha. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be your celebrant today. I would like to invite Kristen Grace to light our chalice this morning. Kristen is a lifelong UUer and has been with our congregation since August. She has been a great help with the children downstairs. She's been brought games and all kinds of arts and crafts activities. I enjoyed sitting with her at our family night. That was the other night, and she drew a mean dragon. So her artistic skills are excellent. If you'll join me with reading the words on the screen. We light this chalice in deep respect for the mystery and holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those who have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come. If you'll join in the opening hymn in the gray hymnals, number 311, Let There Be a Dance. The words will also be up on the screen. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let the bass song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the time with frantic words. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Learn to spin, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need, and bring the world's tendency. Let it be a dance, and be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody learn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like the willow in the wind, let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. See the rhythms feel in me, and tell the dancing me. Let it be a dance. May I have a dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Somewhere. Nothing's wrong and nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. Time let us all smile and laugh too. Okay. Time, oh, we're moving into time for all ages.
Don't we
right
do
there.
the first reading? Is after time for all ages?
Yes. It's okay. We're good.
We're good.
I want to invite all of those young at heart to come up for time for all ages.
And we're number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, there you, oh, isn't that nice? Don't you love it when things work out right? Then there's the other times and they're just as fun. And it's already happened, so I guess that's how it's going to happen. I'm sharing a book that I found that I really like. It's called What the Road Said. And there will be pictures up there. Yeah, what with that, let's
get ready to make an arch and sing the children out.
May your heart be at peace as you go to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
Well, hello, fellow travelers. Thanks for that story, Patty. Now's the time when we invite your generosity, and you can follow the instructions on screen here, and which include clicking on a give button, or in a moment, the baskets will be handed around the sanctuary. You can make your gives that way. I love to use some words out of our hymnal about the offering. We all have so many needs, 1,000 prayers, 1,000 needs that only need one answer. Let the world not be indifferent. Thank you all.
Please join me reading the words on the screen for our dedication. We dedicate ourselves and our offerings to the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of love we call community, both within and beyond these walls. The next hymn is number 346 in the gray hymnals, Come Sing a Song with Me.
You will notice, some of you, that we're singing familiar songs today. I hope you'll rise as you are able. The words will be on the screen. I hope they're in the right order, because I can't see the screen. So come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. and I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find, and I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
The first reading for today is from the book Becoming America by Eric Liu. Oh, okay. He's a Seattle writer and co-founder of Civic Saturdays. To love your neighbor is to see them, to humanize them, to share a gift in believing in their dignity, to rescue them from the noisy loneliness that plagues American life, to save them from the social death that often leads to actual death. This may seem a long way from the troubles of our democratic institutions in Washington, D.C., and the assaults of today's angry populists against the rule of law, but it is not a long way. It is right there. You get neo-Nazi and white supremacist rallies, and you get mass Antifa activists when nobody knows your name or nobody loves their neighbors. You fall into the habit of justifying evil when evil is the nearest path to belonging.
Good morning again. Thank you all for joining me. The theme that I have been working on over the past several months, and that Margot has embraced also, is the idea that much of what plagues our hearts and our society is this disconnection. We don't want to get too close to people who disagree with us. Pema Chodron is an absolutely wonderful Buddhist nun, and she wrote, "The only reason we don't open our hearts and minds to other people is that they trigger confusion in us that we do not feel brave enough or sane enough to deal with. To the degree that we look clearly and compassionately at ourselves, we feel confident and fearless about looking into someone else's eyes." I want to encourage us to do just that. Look into the eyes of the people around you. Whether you agree with them or not is immaterial. But to see them and to allow yourself to be seen is, I believe, one of the only ways we will ever come together. And together is where we all need to be. There's an interesting idea that goes on in especially the American ethos. That is the myth of the rugged individualist. We've all heard it. It's been in our history books. Why do we spend so much time talking about those pioneers, those mountain men that went out into the wilderness and made it on their own? Except for when you look at the stories most more closely, you find out, well, they weren't really alone. They had a native wife, and they may have actually been living with the natives. Or they had a mental problem. Just saying. It's interesting, as this has been an idea that's been percolating in my mind, I keep coming across things that reinforce this idea. And what really brought this one to a fore, and that I have started studying to be able to bring this message to you, is oddly enough, a paper done by a gentleman back in the 70s who then took it and made a book out of it in the 90s, and which has now become very popular on places like YouTube and TED Talks. The original thesis was the fact that the study was being done because somebody noticed that although bowling was as popular as it had ever been, and I guess it still is, and I'm not a bowler, so this is something that was new to me, the bowling alleys were starting to go out of business. Even though the bowlers were still coming, they were still paying, but they were bowling alone. They weren't joining leagues. And I can see there's everybody's, don't fall asleep. There is a point to this. Yeah, I can see there's a lot of non-bowlers out there. But what the bowling alley owners were saying was they weren't staying. They weren't getting together and having a beer. They weren't having coffee and donuts. They weren't bringing their kids with them and teaching them how to bowl. They were coming in by themselves. And slowly, they found that they didn't come at all. Because the reason for being in a bowling league is not to bowl. It's the league part. It's that being together. And I think all of you, if you look back over what's going on in organizations that you belong to, here is the place where this all started coming together for me and gelling and making me realize there's an issue here that's beyond what the surface appears. I belong to an organization that has over 100 members. And when we have a meeting, there's somewhere around 75 to 80 people at this meeting. But it's about to die. Literally, we have lots of money in the bank. We have lots of things to do. We have lots of good things that come from this organization. It's about to die because no one will step up and do something. They will be there, but they don't engage. So, what I want to bring to your attention and make you think about, you're here today. And the thing I love about our community is after time. When I can get together with you afterwards, with a cup of coffee and a cookie and answer questions or ask questions or just talk or blow off steam or just smile and connect and find out who you are, to look into your eyes and see your life and my life in your eyes. Brene Brown says people are hard to hate close up. And if you really think about that, how many of you are feeling slightly uncomfortable about that idea? Especially if you're thinking of political differences and the kind of differences that occur nowadays. It's not easy. I'm not asking you about something that's easy to do. If it were easy to do, we'd all be doing it. But no organization runs and operates just with money. We need hearts and souls. You need your heart engaged too. Struggles come to all of us, and there's no cure for that. I just put that right out there. I don't know how many of you have ever, been scrolling through, say, YouTube. That seems to be my favorite right now. And there's this picture of a movie star and their tragic passing, their tragic end. And you look at it and you go, oh, that's terrible, and then you read it and you find out, well, the tragic end is they died. And you're kind of, okay, yeah, I'm old enough now. That doesn't seem necessarily to be like a tragedy. It's just the end. And yet we have taken that part of life, and so that every ending is a tragedy. Well, yeah, I guess so. But maybe we're focusing too much on the tragedy and not enough on the living and the joy that comes with that. The gentleman who wrote the article that I referred to earlier, Don't Bowl Alone, is Robert Putnam. And I was watching the YouTube that he did, and it was just fascinating. And it was fascinating to see people talking about the difference between belonging to an organization or not belonging to an organization. What difference did that make in their lives? But then the next step is engagement. It's fine to sit in the pew, but what happens if you don't go over here and have coffee with me and look me in the eye and tell me what you love and what's had and what's happy, where your joys are, where your troubles are? I can only reach out my hand if you'll reach your hand out. And I think that of the many people that I know in this congregation right now, personally, that's all of us. We're anxious and happy to assist or to support, but we can't do what we don't know about. Come look us in the eye and let us see inside. Let us know what your pain is. And we all have things that happen in our lives that we may be embarrassed about, but I will tell you, everybody else has done things that they're embarrassed about, and there might be a way to work through it. It's interesting how a subject, when it comes to you, starts coming at you. There's no end to what I have to talk about. This is a terrible thing. If your butt's starting to get sore, my apologies. I no sooner got this finished, and I'm rehearsing it and talking, and I turn something on, and there's a TED Talk about connection and belonging and how important it is. And then there was another one and another one and another. I would be here all day, and you do not want that. Absolutely. I understand. But it's not unique story. This is an issue that is coming up in communities everywhere. I want each of you to recognize that your contribution is important. It's important here. It's important in organizations all around you. But I want to talk about this one. So I'm going to give you a couple of call to action. Think about what it is that you love the most here and do something to support it. So I'm going to run through a few things. If your favorite thing, and I'm here to tell you that if this is your favorite thing, do not be embarrassed about it, because there's a whole bunch of people who will snigger when I say this. Coffee hour. Yeah. Hey, it happened. I knew it would. Coffee hour. Why? Because that's where we connect. That's where we come together. That's where we actually learn about each other. It isn't about me or Margot or the music. All those things are really important. All those things help you get in the door, but they don't keep you here week after week. Week after week, it's, oh my goodness, this is fabulous. Look who just showed up. There's someone I haven't seen for a long time. Or there's someone new who's got a t-shirt that I think is just swell. Those are the things that bring joy to so many of us. Do you love it when we all stand up to sing? Is that just joyful for you? Well, we have a little choir. Please look into coming and joining that. Connect with that thing that you love. If you think that you have something you want to say up here, let us know. We'd love to hear about it. Maybe we can incorporate it into something. Maybe we can help you build that. Do you love the fact that we have children that are coming up in our church here and really helping us to grow and to be alive and to recognize what it is to be a multi-generational organization that we know will continue? Then help us out. Do you love the artwork? Help me out. I'm looking for people to hang up here, and I would love your help with that. This building is a hammer and nails your best thing, and you really love that. Well, let us know. If you want like social justice, let us know. If you just like pulling weeds, let us know. We need you, particularly, especially this time of year, because we know that in like a month and a half, they're going to start taking over. And I tell you, it's not a pretty sight when the weeds start taking over. Think about this place. Is your favorite thing to do dusting? I can tell you what, we can use that too. Dusting. Yes. Now I can also tell this is not Dave's favorite thing. So if you kind of like that, and there are some people who do, are you a tech person? Do you like tech? Let me know for sure, because we have needs. This organization continues to grow and to become more and to be more inclusive and to have more and be more, because each of us has something to contribute. And don't feel that what you can offer is too small, because it's not. If you're bringing cups up from the kitchen so that we can have coffee in the morning. That is an important service. If you're making sure that the chairs are out for people, then that is an important thing. And each of those things brings you closer to the people who are in this space. As we work together, we grow together, and we support each other. kind of leave you with a thought. I talked about the rugged individualist and how that was a myth, a true myth. Doesn't exist. Humans have one of the longest gestation and period of growth for our young than any other species on this planet. It takes conservatively at least 10 to 13 years to grow someone who can actually take care of themselves. And even that, I mean, 25, just saying. The reality is we should not be able to survive. If we were like almost any other species on this planet, we would not survive. But we became what we are because we can work together. Because as a weak, hairless, mostly, species that would freeze to death, we'd die of exposure if we didn't know how to put clothes on. If we didn't know how to take care of our young in an inclusive way, they would die. We are here because we work together. Our strength is in our weakness. Our strength is in the fact that we recognize we need each other. I want each of you to think about how you can connect and how you can help. Because being person to put your hand out and say, I can help, is the way that you can connect and also be part of a solution for a problem that is plaguing every organization on this planet. Please, not just showing up, but become a part of the family. With that, I would like us to take just a moment, just close your eyes and think about what can you do? How can you connect? Who will you put your hand out to support? Our closing hymn is in the teal hymnal. If you want to check that way, there will be words on the screen. I'm going to count on them, but I had large print hymnals up here, but they keep wandering off. And I would tell you, as a person 77 years old, the little tiny type on the hymnals is getting a little difficult. So if you could rise in body or spirit and join me in one of our favorite hymns, Blue Boat Home.
Okay, before we extinguish this chalice, I'm going to go off the cuff and hope I don't get fired. But I'm going to plug game night because based on Patty's talk, like I don't do well at coffee hour, but shared experiences where you get to just hang with people and get to know people is an easy way to do it. So Nancy had asked me to send an email to parents, but I'm going to double duty that. So there'll be a church game night this Saturday, January 11th. Downstairs, you just come in the back door. There's a potluck, which you're welcome to join, from 6 to 7, and then people, you just bring a game or just share what we have and have some good community. So thank you for letting me say that.
Closing words. Joy. I'm using this particular poem because I believe that some of what I've been talking about today is about bringing yourself into a space where you can find joy. So I ask you, what brings joy? No, really, what brings you joy? Think, remember, what is the thing? You know, the thing you remember and smile. Let me guess. You gave someone something special, usually your time, brought someone joy. Joy is about connection. Joy is about being real. Joy is your birthright. You only receive it when you give it away.
You'll join me in the closing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
If you could rise in body or spirit and join me in our closing blessing song. We do have some hand gestures for the new people. You can join in or not as you wish. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you